The year is 1955. The hazy Sunday morning sun streams through the Venetian blinds, casting a film noir effect on your breakfast room. The house is still pretty quiet, all except for the rustle of the comics section from the Sunday newspaper. You see, there's this peculiar, squishy duplicating service happening right there on the living room rug, and it didn't have batteries and it didn't make any noise. It was just a glob of coral pink goo from inside of a plastic egg. But to a kid from the mid-century, that little egg held a piece of space age and a bit of magic. Today we're opening the vault to look at a toy that was never meant to be, Silly Putty. Silly Putty is another happy accident story that begins in a laboratory during the heat of World War II. In 1943, the United States was desperate for a synthetic rubber substitute because Japan had cut off the natural rubber supply from Southeast Asia. And James Wright, an engineer working for General Electric in Connecticut, combined silicone oil, boric acid, and God knows what else, and the result was a substance that was soft, squishy, stretchy, and moldable. And what's more, it could bounce 25% higher than actual rubber. It was amazing, and it was useless. I mean, it's not like you could make a boot or a tire out of it. So by '49, on a bit of a lark, Wright dubbed it Nutty Putty and sold some to a local toy store that stocked it for a few months. And it was during that period that a local ad man named Peter Hodgson saw it in the store and saw its potential. He was mesmerized as he watched people fool around with it. He was later quoted as saying, "I couldn't help noticing how people with busy schedules wasted as much as 15 minutes at a shot just fondling and stretching it. It molded like soft clay, it stretched like taffy, and it bounced like a rubber ball. It would even pick up pictures of printed matter when pressed in newspapers or comic strips." His marketing radar went into high alert. He borrowed some money to buy a large batch of it from GE, renamed it Silly Putty, and applied for a trademark. And since Easter was coming up, he packed it into plastic eggs. Doubleday Bookshop was one of the very few interested outlets in stocking this new toy, but Hodgson really caught a break when an article appeared in New Yorker magazine by a writer who had seen it at Doubleday. The magazine piece quipped, "When tugged quickly, it breaks in a brittle way, and if left alone, it sinks into a disinterested heap." That article also just happened to mention that the store had sold 10,000 units in a month. Well, you can't buy that kind of advertising. And the timing was perfect. The 1950s world was obsessed with modern materials, plastics, polymers, and things that felt futuristic. So with the New Yorker's blessing, suddenly everybody had to have it. By the 1960s, it was a global phenomenon. It was cheap, it was indestructible, and it was a tactile indulgence. But the real reason it became a staple of American childhood was its relationship to the Sunday comics. You could press your Silly Putty onto Dick Tracy or Peanuts and peel it back, and you'd have a perfect full-color transfer of the comic. You could then stretch it to make Charlie Brown's head like 3 feet wide. It was the OG copy and paste tool for the masses. And while kids were using it to lift comics, this failed rubber was actually finding some pretty serious jobs. In 1968, Silly Putty went to the moon. The astronauts of Apollo 8 carried it in a specially designed silver egg to help secure their tools in zero gravity. It turns out this Nutty Putty was excellent for sticking things to walls where there is no up or down. And back on Earth, it became a go-to tool for physical therapists because it provides constant resistance. It was, and still is, used for hand strengthening exercises. It's also been used to level wobbly furniture, pick up lint, and as many college students and secretaries in the 70s discovered, it was the perfect tool for cleaning the hard-to-reach dust out of typewriter keys. Some of the best things in life are the ones we don't plan for. You try and make a synthetic rubber and you wind up with nothing but a legacy toy enjoyed by millions and millions of kids and adults. Please hit the like button on this video before you leave. It really helps me out, and I hope you'll consider subscribing to all this madcap merriment. I'm Philip Mershon signing off, and until next time, pull your putty.